All right, we're back. Hey, Vector, who do you think is Halcyon Helen's murderer? My theory, the bellhop who originally showed up to greet us. Don't know why, he just gut feeling.
Nice.
That or this is all just like some live serial and we've just been playing a part unknowingly. That or it's somebody who we actually have not met yet. I don't see it being Kincaid or Kincannon. They're making it a bit too obvious in that regard that it is him. I guess it could be Ludovico because, you know, he wants us to believe it's everyone else. Alright, we made it here. The Byzantium tourist. Alright, so there's two quests we can do here. We can go and do the Productivity Queen, which I guess we're doing because that's the one that's highlighted.
We heading inside, Captain? Don't worry. I got your back.
Sublet Tour Guide. This one just says legal. Oh, legal hunting supplies. Alright, that's
Excuse me, Gunther. I need to ask you something.
Who in the hell is Gunter? I told you to call me Hunter. Come on.
Oh, right.
Welcome to Hunter Legal's Legal Hunter Supplies. I am Hunter Legal. How might I help you today?
Let's see what you're selling. I'm investigating the murder of Halcyon Helen. Have you seen or heard anything unusual lately?
Unusual? This whole land complex is a failed wildlife exhibition turned hunting reserve. You can't go 10 feet without stepping in unusual. But I reckon you're asking about people unusual. I'd go have a chat with the prophet of profitability. Maybe she can intuit you in the right direction or something. But she is mighty far in the depths of the reserve. Perhaps you should purchase one of my fine armaments for the journey.
Oh, maybe. Let's see what you're selling.
Hunter supplies. Get your hunter supplies.
Okay, let's see. You have quite a few guns. Plasma rifle. Who knows? Yeah, the flamethrower. Rum and something. It's gonna be weird shitting in that bathroom. It's like on an angle.
We'll be okay. They got the drop on us. I got him! How about that?
We did it, team. 9,900 EXP.
I don't get it. Why build a place to get dust up your nose and wrapped it on spit in your eyes when Monarch's free to visit?
That's true. I mean, Monarch's not actually free to visit, though, is it? We had to pay like 10,000 to get the key. I guess we didn't have to go to Cascadia.
Let's go! Watch a pro at work. Here I go!
That's not the one I wanted you to attack, but alright. Ooh, that hurt. Where the fuck did the big one go? It like lunged at me and then disappeared. Okay. Sure. Plasma weapon was better for dealing with Raptidons, Sims, so. Abandoned Rizzo bunker. Yeah, let's check it out. Let's head on in. Halcyon Helen. Do I need to repair my gun? I guess I do.
Captain, what is this place and why is everybody acting so strange? Oh, law. They ain't cannibals, right?
They might be cannibal.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby.
Yeah.
She said I must burn away.
Analysis suggests this to be a variety of herbs. Herbs have been uniformly treated with a pungent chemical mix. Warning: ingesting, smoking, or inserting non-corporation sanctioned substances into your ears may be harmful to your health.
Into your ears. Burning these would generate some pretty toxic smoke.
Side effects from extended exposure include dizziness, nausea, and unconsciousness. Additional likelihood of organ shutdown and/or death.
How would these most likely be used?
Prior analysis suggests these herbs reach peak effectiveness when users burn them and inhale the resulting smoke. Whether or not this increased effectiveness is good for an afflicted individual has yet to be determined.
Can you analyze the chemical these herbs are treated with?
Analyzing complete. Substance appears to be a mix of industrial solvents and various essential oils. Substances include woolly cow dander remover, sprat oil, and starship surface wax.
Alright, I'll make note of that. Let's move on. Alright, here is the profit of profitability. Is her skin gold?
Fruitful and productive welcome, sister. I had a feeling
Looks
you would
identical
visit
to
me.
Ellie, the
I offer a wide
or
variety
Lilia.
of productivity seminars. I hope you'll consider taking one. Ah, but I should remember my manners. To what do I owe the pleasure of the Special Inspector's arrival?
How do you know as an inspector? Nice little camp you got here. Where do you indoctrinate people? I'm looking for the murder of Halcyon Helen. Halcyon Helen. Inspector, I'm on vacation, no matter what anyone says I'm doing here.
Certainly, certainly. But first, I'd love to interest you in one of my productivity seminars. We'll free you of those potential hampering humors in a heartbeat.
Didn't Halcyon Helen say you were a hack? You know, I've been feeling like my potential's hampered lately. What do you offer? Sorry, Prophet. I don't think I can spare the time. I've got a murder to look into. Humors? I don't think I understand. If I wanted peddling sprat oil, I'd buy Sproutworks. Don't waste my time.
Absolutely not. any statements by Miss Helen about us were blown out of proportion and altered by the media. In fact, she quite recently... excuse me. I seem to be remembering something that never happened. Whatever the case, I'm sure her speech about us was all a misunderstanding. With that said, I'd love to involve you in one of my productivity seminars. We should clear you of all those nasty, nasty humors hampering your potential.
Profit?
Yes, I understand the pressure of one's employment all too well. We've lately been looking into more ways to bolster the retreat stock of bits.
What she have?
But you needn't worry about how this little conversation is affecting my livelihood, sister. Please, take your time. I'm delighted to extend my desire to aid you, sister. How might I assist?
I'm gonna ask some questions about Halcyon Helen. Please answer truthfully.
Oh? I'm surprised. I wouldn't think the two of us would have much to discuss about her. We may have had some terse interactions before her death, which I most certainly regret. But beyond those, well, never mind. What would you care to know?
You and Helen didn't get along, I hear.
I wouldn't necessarily say that. The media tends to exaggerate. I will admit that her remarks about my seminars were rather unfortunate. However, I certainly wouldn't sharpen any sabers over it, if that's what you mean to imply. I only do that when my clients skimp on their bills.
Did you contact Helen after you left the Grand Colonial?
I did not. She had no interest in my seminars, and I had no interest in attempting to convert a stubborn actress. Why would I have had any cause to engage with her further?
Where were you at the time of Helen's murder?
Why, I've been at the Wildlife Exploitation Reserve for quite some time now, as my disciples can attest. In fact, I haven't visited the Colonials since I arrived several weeks ago. Bad energies, you understand.
What's something else?
I hope you now realize that I had nothing to do with Helen's demise.
You have some interesting herbs here.
I'm pleased that you noticed. Excellent eye, sister. The compound they're treated with is my own invention, designed to unlock an individual's true productive potential when burned. I can't say any more. Trade secrets, you know.
They seem toxic. Toxic enough to potentially kill someone.
None of my clients have ever complained, so I'm sure they're perfectly safe. Is there anything else?
They've never complained. They're dead, but they've never complained about it.
Hello. Welcome to the Prophet of Profitability's Private Prosperity Retreat. Stay positive, and soon all your humors will be balanced. Least, that's what I keep telling myself. Anyway, I'm Aaliyah Mason. I work as the Prophet's right-hand woman. What can I do for you?
What can you tell me about the retreat?
If you felt imbalanced and unproductive, linger in your malaise no longer. We have all the amenities and practices for calming the ill humors strangling your potential. Sit for hours in our sweat house and sweat them out. Or stand amidst burning coals and feel your productive inhibitions burn away. And remember, think positive. Positivity equals productivity equals profitability.
See. You know the Prophet well?
Of course. I've been studying under her for years. I know each of her techniques more or less by heart, and even have some variations of my own, such as the quintuple daily stomach purges. She's promised me that I'd be allowed to open my own branch of the retreat someday soon. Of course, I've been waiting on someday soon for coming up on 4 years now. I'm sure it's gonna happen anytime now.
Probably. Alright, for positivity sample, you sound a little less than enthused.
Oh, terribly sorry if I gave you that impression. I had a cramp. It's better now. I mean, it might be nice if I had a little inclination of whether the Prophet appreciated all the cooking and cleaning and hours of meditation I do on a daily basis. But whatever she thinks isn't for me to question. I'll do my best to be more chipper.
I'm sure you will. Anyway, I was hired by Halcyon Helen to look into Halcyon Helen's murder. I'm gonna ask you a few questions.
Oh my. Yes, this is important enough for me to delay my bi-hourly self-flagellation. Ask away.
The Prophet had some kind of feud with Halcyon Helen, right?
Yes, the circumstances there are quite unfortunate. For a time, the Prophet was completely despondent. Even the hot coal walks weren't buoying her spirits as they usually do. However, we recently had a high-profile visitor whose presence seemed to alleviate whatever the Prophet's fears were.
Spencer Warwick?
Oh, you must have misheard me. I said high profile, not had profile. Mr. Woolrich comes by much too often to be worth mentioning.
Have you noticed any unusual behavior in the retreat lately?
Well, by and large, no. But something rather odd did happen regarding the Prophet recently. A few hours after our high-profile visitor arrived a couple of days ago, the Prophet asked me to take over sessions for the remainder of the day. At first, I was excited. Thought it was my chance to show her what I could do in charge. But then I saw that she was deeply worried about something. No one saw her until the next day.
Where were you at the time of the murder?
I was here, at the retreat in the company of the other disciples and clients. I rarely have more than a few minutes of alone time. Which is fine, of course. I do what I do in the service of the Prophet, who will, I'm sure, reward me for my sacrifice. Eventually.
That's all for now.
Certainly. Actually, before you go, I want to report something suspicious. I noticed the Prophet dragging something, a bundle, away from the retreat after that high-profile guest arrived. Normally, I'm the one who does her laundry, so it was strange. Especially because whatever she was dragging seemed oddly human-shaped.
Okay. You sure it was a body? Couldn't you have brought this information forward a little earlier?
I could have, but I generally don't have the time or energy to leave the reserve to contact anyone. Plus, there's always the possibility that I'm mistaken. The Prophet hasn't been herself lately, but if I misinterpreted the situation and reported her improperly, I'd ruin my chances for opening my own wing of the retreat.
Enough. Sure it was a body?
I think so. Had the right size and shape.
I'll look into it. That is definitely interesting and concerning. Welcome. If you are in search of a seminar, please speak to the Prophet of Probability directly. The messages on the seminal are private. Should you read them, your humors may be thrown off balance. Is your curiosity worth the loss of profits? From Bellamy Ruth. Prophet, I've talked with my agents and they've told me that what I said about your seminars, are you not taking them, actually lost you about 30% of your revenue for the next 3 months, with future losses projected. When I said I wasn't interested in attending, I didn't really realize that it had hit you quite as hard as it did. Guess that's the price of stardom. Everyone listens a little extra to everything you say. I'm hoping, if you've got space, that I might be able to attend one of your sessions today as a means of apologizing. I know that notice is short, but I'm hoping you can fit me in without too much inconvenience. Lee Whitaker. Hey, Prophet, Whitaker here. Wanted to ask how that mix of herbs I sent you was working out. I was skeptical at first about using them for meditation purposes, but hell, what do I know about productivity? That said, be sure to remember what I told you. Don't cut the herbs asymmetrically, hampers the texture. Don't leave them out in the sun, and for the law's sake, make sure you keep the smoke doses small. Last thing you want is to accidentally send someone into a coma, or worse, kill them. Be smart, Whitaker. We're devoted attendees, in quotations. Profit. The other attendees of tripling profits through transcendentalism and I have reconvened, and we are all in agreement. Your seminars are simply top notch. We've seen a 0.5% increase in each of our businesses in total profits since we attended your seminars together. Of course, the price of materials, shipping, and other costs involved, it boiled down to more of a 0.1% increase. But an increase is an increase. If you ever decide to visit the Grand Colonial, you simply must purchase you a round of drinks. Thank you. We all certainly have the bits for it. Okay, that was enlightening. Okay, let's go investigate that body then. I could look through the rest of this place, but I don't care. The semi-recent set of tracks in the dirt stand out from the dead leaves and those made by passing creatures.
Identifying human footprints leading out into the wilderness. It is unusual for productivity disciples to wander more than a few feet from the camp.
They're not mine, are they? Are they Helen's?
Scanning. No. Helen's distinctive shoe size not found. Judging by footprint depressions and shoe size, these prints were either made by the Prophet of Profitability or Adjutant Sophia Akande. Error. Recalibrating. These footprints were made by the Prophet of Profitability.
Okay.
Timeline discrepancy. Additional tracks belonging to the Prophet of Profitability. Timeline discrepancy. Additional tracks belonging to the Prophet of Profitability. Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Detected additional tracks belonging to the Prophet of Profitability. Timeline. Judging by the shape of this indentation in the dirt, a person of medium height and build laid here for a number of hours. Scanning for other details. Only additional signs of disturbance are a few marks in the dirt.
Am I imagining it? Does it seem like whoever was dumped here got up? Corpses don't get up and walk away. There's no evidence that the body can be torn of the body being torn apart.
No sign of struggle or evidence of wildlife consumption of body. Suspected likelihood of user correctness, 86%.
Strange. Let's keep this in mind. Guess this complicates things. This is set up specifically to throw us off the trail. Let's be careful. So, essentially, whoever was dragged out here, she probably gave those herbs to, knocked them out, and then panicked. And then when they woke up, she was like, oh, okay.
Welcome back, sister. I'm delighted to extend my desire to aid you, sister. How might I assist?
Someone said they saw you dragging a human-shaped lump into your yurt. You said you had no further interaction with Helen before her death, right?
Yes, that's correct. She made it clear that my seminars were of no interest to her.
I saw the message from Helen on your terminal about attending a session. So, at least no message from her or anything like that?
Your tone of voice seems to suggest that you have information already, which also suggests you read my terminal.
I did, yes.
Whatever the case, I didn't care to mention Helen's change in decision because she never showed up. I don't see how it matters.
What? Someone said they saw you dragging a human-shaped lump into your yurt.
Who said that? I'll be sure to give them a special seminar on not needlessly implicating the person who puts food on their table. It was a bundle of clothing, sister. Even productivity geniuses need to do laundry from time to time.
The dirt imprint that I found outside suggests a heavier load being dragged, like a body. Yet the herbs I found out in here hint at a visitor. What are you hiding? The quicker I get the truth, the faster I can leave you alone. Let's try 4.
Yes. I suppose the more quickly we get off this subject, the better. I had a visitor, yes. But as it turned out, some of my productivity techniques were too much for them. I had to drag them out by hand. But their peers came and collected them shortly thereafter. I'm sure whichever attendee it was is perfectly safe now.
I followed your trail to where you dumped something in the wilderness.
Oh, really? What did you find there? What did I dump?
There was nothing there, but by its proportion, I'd say a body. For a profit, you certainly made some bad decisions. Fess up. I think it was your morals.
Clever work, Inspector. It seems even I can't slide my way out of the trap you've so intricately weaved. I admit it. I killed Helen. By mistake. Helen changed her mind and wanted to attend one of my sessions. I, knowing the importance of the seminar, desired to truly galvanize her, though not to stop her heart. So when it came time, I chose to double Helen's dosage of productivity-enhancing herbs. I left her to meditate, and when I returned, she was dead. After that, I entered a less than coherent state. One of my disciples, it seems, witnessed me as I dragged Helen's body out into the wilderness.
Okay. Did you shoot the body at any time? The wilderness, you didn't dump the body at the Grand Colonial? You sure Helen was dead?
I'm no medical professional, but that certainly seemed the case. Usually my customers at least writhe or mumble after a session. My productivity-enhancing herbs typically do induce sluggishness, but I suppose they must have been enough to do her in, if her constitution was truly that weak.
Did you shoot the body at the time? Actually, I don't think you killed anybody. Certainly not Helen. This is all a bit strange, but I'm still inclined to believe you killed Halcyon Helen.
Laws, no. I hate guns. If I ever wanted to kill someone on purpose, I would have used a blunt weapon. Nothing quite like clubbing someone over the head.
Fuck. The wilderness, you didn't dump the body at the Grand Colonial?
Do you jest? The guests at the Colonial eat no shortage of strange things, but I think corpses are perhaps too strange. The creatures of the wilderness are much less picky. Besides, the hotel is ridiculously far. I couldn't have made it all that way without someone realizing I was dragging a corpse.
Actually, I don't think you killed anybody. Certainly not Helen.
What? Is this some kind of joke? You're an inspector. It's your job to arrest me, isn't it?
Halcyon Helen's body was found at the Grand Colonial. She was killed there. Look, if Helen's body wasn't where you left it, she must have awakened and walked away.
No. Someone must have moved it after I killed her. One of my business rivals, waiting for me to fall into a false sense of security so they can strike.
Halcyon Helen's body was found at the Grand Colonial. She was killed there.
I don't believe you. I think this is all a trick. You're trying to catch me in a lie. Get me to reveal my productivity secrets.
Don't care about your productivity secrets. The only thing you've done is be completely negligent.
No. You can't trick me. I finally discovered what's happening. You've been paid off. Someone else learned that I killed Helen and is going to use that information to blackmail me. You think I'm going to let this injustice happen? Ha! Tell the constable that I killed Helen. It's 1,000 times less miserable than whatever my enemies have planned.
You're up the wall. I'm not getting the deputy or anyone else to falsely imprison you. The constable's dead, but I guess if you want to be imprisoned, I can oblige you. You want to go to jail? I don't know if I get paid enough to do my job. Can't figure you out. Whether or not you killed Heaven, I think imprisoning is probably the safest option.
Yes. One step ahead as always, shadowy corporate figures. You'll never get my secrets. Never.
Okay. What's next then? Report to Administrator Ludovico. Okay, well, that was interesting. Before we step out there, guys, we're going to take a break, and then we got to go find Bellhop Owens in this area. Don't worry, we got more.